My name is Brian Berg. I'm chair of the, as you mentioned, the Silicon Valley Tech History Committee. I'd like to thank some of our other members here. Tom Coughlin is our vice chair. He organized tonight's meeting. Tom Kramer over there, he got us our food. And by the way, looks like we've got... We bought enough for a full house, and we sold out, but I think we have a lot of people who didn't show up. So we might have extra food, so feel free to take more food even at the end of the night. So also Ken Pyle, our videographer in the back, thanks very much. And we have quite a cache of videos from past events on our website, so you can check that out. Thanks very much to Ken for setting those up. Francine Belson checking us in. Thank you very much, Francine. And let's see, I'm not sure if Alan Weisberger is he here tonight? Yeah, I guess he couldn't make it. And then Paul Westling and Ted can't make it also. So anyway, just a little tidbit here. How many people were at the Atari event 2 years ago here? Great. Well, we had a number of people who were very interested in that event, including Leslie Berlin. How many people have read the book Troublemakers? It's a really, really interesting book that Valley talks about from about 1968 to 82 or 83. It focuses on 7 different people, 7 different companies, basically. And one of those is Atari with pictured here are Al Elkhorn and Nolan Bushnell. And there's 2 excerpts in that book that came from this event. So we have a little bit of notoriety here. And I'll show you what those are. First of all, first one was how the name Pong came about. And in fact, when Leslie Berlin got here, she never heard the story. And what happened is when it came up, both Alan pointed to Nolan and Nolan pointed to Alan. So who knows who actually made up the name, but we made a little bit of history here that night. Also, really funny, aside from Al Elkhorn, he always carried a special pager. He instructed all the engineers to let them know if Nolan ever went into the engineering area, to make sure that they understood, don't take direction from Nolan, take direction from Al Elkhorn, because Nolan came up with crazy ideas and might divert people. Anyway, just 2 very interesting asides that were included in that book. How many people were at the IEEE Milestone dedications on August 15th? Great, that was a really interesting day. Over at the corner of San Antonio Road and California Avenue, where Shockley Labs was established in 1955, you can see the old building there in the upper right. That same location is now, well, there used to be like a Sears store there and a bunch of other stores in that same block. Those have all been razed, and now there's, it's kind of like a Santana Road that's going in there. But they carved out the corner, dedicated it to the history of Silicon Valley. So on the side facing San Antonio Road, you have a transistor, a diode, and the innards of the diode. Those are the 3 things on the left. And the address 391 was the original address of Fairchild, or the Shockley Labs. So you have the digits 391 there. Not included in this photo, just to the left of the 3 is a super plaque that shows kind of all the Fairchildren that came out of Fairchild, along with an IEEE milestone plaque. So go check it out sometime. And here's the actual milestone for the birthplace of Silicon Valley that's in that location. Basically, it says that the first silicon that was made in California what came out of this location there at Shockley Labs. So you can go check out that plaque. Also, that evening there was a dedication of a second plaque, and that was for Moore's Law. And you can see on the left here, there's a photograph of a fountain with a silicon module sculpture in the middle of that fountain. That's what's behind. And in the middle is myself and Tom Coughlin, who's our vice chair, along with Vic Ahrens, who coordinated the 2 milestones. And Mustafa's there. Yeah, Mustafa, who's in the audience, is also on the left there. He it's actually, I think his camera actually took that picture. Yeah, and Kathleen Kramer, who's Region 6 director, is in that photograph as well. So, and then the evening event at the Computer History Museum is pictured on the right. Interesting thing, I helped coordinate that milestone. I got statements from both Ellie Harari, who founded SanDisk, and Ted Hoff, co-inventor of the transistor, to talk about the impact of Moore's Law, because the IEEE History Committee didn't quite get it. but their statements showed the incredible impact it had on the Valley. And in fact, if you look, here's the plaque of Moore's Law. They put quotations around Moore's Law because it is not a law of science. Not a physical law. Anyway, just a little interesting aside there. How many people were at the event a year ago, September, for the Dialogue online search engine? That was an event that I coordinated, and I promised at that time that I was going to get a milestone for that. I've submitted that milestone application. It's going to be voted on Sunday by the IEEE History Committee. So I'm confident it's going to pass. There won't be any issue, but they do vetting on it and make sure everything's hunky-dory on that. So I'm looking forward to that. That is one of 2 milestones I've submitted to the committee that will be voted on this weekend. The second one is for the Lunar Laser Ranging Experiment. Anybody heard of that or know what that is? Quite a few people in the audience. Anyway, there was 3 locations, actually back up. The Apollo 11, when it landed on the moon on July 20th, 1969, it was only on the moon for about 22 hours, something like that. And shortly before it took off, they put a retro reflector on the lunar surface. You can see that in the lower left picture. So that's a device that you can shine a light into, and the light will come out about a couple inches away from it, but parallel to the light going in. Hence, you can shine a light from the Earth to the moon, if you can find it, and it'll get reflected back to you. And so to do this, what they did is they set up lasers on Mount Haleakala in Hawaii, Lake Observatory in the hills right up here, and also, McDonald Observatory in West Texas. So they had lasers in all 3 locations trying to find the retroreflector. There was a 4th laser. The Soviets were trying to do it as well. Very unexpected, a little bit of the Cold War there. So we beat them to the moon. They were trying to beat us to measure the distance to the moon. But it was first measured at Lake Observatory on August 1st. It took a 1.2 gigawatt weapons-grade laser to do it. That laser was put into a carved-out area in the basement of the Shane 3mm telescope that's up there, just in case it exploded, so they could throw water on it and it wouldn't burn the building down. Seriously, I saw this last May. They saw that carved-out location. So anyway, it's a really interesting story. And so this is going to be voted on this Sunday as well. I'm very confident that's going to pass because they just put an email around the world encouraging people to submit milestone applications. And so I kind of beat them to the punch on that. So anyway, I look forward to that being dedicated on August 1st, 2019 on the 50th anniversary in the wake of all the celebrations that are likely to be happening next year for that 50th anniversary of the landing on the moon. So, you got a question, Tom?
Not a question, but a comment. Back up 1 slide.
Yes?
I think that form of disk drives is from ISS, also from Silicon Valley.
Ah, I wouldn't be
It looked
surprised.
very much like an ISS.
I did not comment about that, but that sea of disk drives is the database for Dialogue online search engine at one point. They actually started as a database for NASA. And the very first time an online search was performed was from NASA to the database set up at Lockheed in Palo Alto. That was back in 1966. You have another question?
No, the other comment is those are either 100 or 200 megabytes per disk pack.
Probably 2.
Great. Thank you for that. So you maybe had 10 gigabytes there, something like that? Possibly. In that room? Maybe? Something like that. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Well, we've got a lot of other stuff going on tonight, so thanks very much for your attention. Take it away, Tom Coughlin. Oh, I should introduce him. Tom Coughlin is going to be, Mustafa, that's right. I have another announcement for the Global Humanitarian Technology Conference. It's going to be happening next week in San Jose. There are flyers for that on the front table. That's an interesting event. People from around the world will be coming to that. Do you want to say a couple words about that?
Thank you. So it's global humanitarian technology, using technology for benefit of humanitarian and undeserved societies around the world. And there's a flyer right here. Please pick up one. And we're also looking for volunteers. So if you're interested, please let Brian know and he could contact me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mustafa. So Tom Coughlin is going to be IEEE USA President next year. He is past chair of the Santa Clara Valley section, SMI, and very active in IEEE. He's the one who appointed me to be IEEE Milestone Director for the Western U.S., and that's been a really fun experience. So, take it away, Tom Coughlin.
Thank you, Brian. So So actually, that GHTC conference, the motto of the IEEE is advancing technology for the benefit of humanity. So that's a conference that directly deals with that for helping folks that need some help. So pick up a flyer and consider maybe coming to it. One other thing I'd like to say on this one is when I found out this is getting close to being voted on, I sent a message to Elon Musk asking if he could help us to get a plaque up to the moon. I haven't heard back yet.
It weighs 21 pounds.
Well, we might get a micro plaque. Maybe a sheet,